Hi, it's Jasmine. You know, that girl who did you-know-what way before the internet ever existed. Join me and my special guest every week as we talk about anything and everything because nothing is too taboo. So punch your ticket and get on board the Krazy train with me, Jasmin St. All aboard! Welcome back to a whole new episode of Krazy Train with me, Jasmin St. I know that a lot of you like it when I bring really hot girls on the show, especially ones that are badasses. When we had Veronica Kane on, we've had all these other great wrestlers on, Kat Martini. I've had actresses like Diane Neal, like amazing people who've done so much in different genres of pop culture and in different years of pop culture. So with that said, one of my favorite shows growing up when I was a child was G.L.O.W, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Then years later, I was actually trained by an original G.L.O.W girl named Sue Sexton. But over the past few months, I was able to connect with Jeanne Basone, who was everyone's favorite Hollywood. So without further ado, let's welcome to the show, Hollywood. So one of my favorite eras in wrestling growing up was, of course, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. And I've always run into Jeanne Basone, who a lot of you guys might know as G.L.O.W, as Hollywood from G.L.O.W. I saw her like a few times at conventions, and finally I've been able to make this happen. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the In-N-Out hamburger today. It looks so good.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I know I love it. I have to have it every once in a while, so you have to get your what do you call it in? I'll call it my thrills in. That's my thrills, In-N-Out burger. But thank you for having me on.
Thank you. I always see you at the conventions, and I remember watching you on TV like when I was growing up. That's if I ever really grew up. But I've got to say, it's such a different world in wrestling. But why did you, how did you get into G.L.O.W of all things? Like, were you picked? Did you audition? Did you even like wrestling?
Yeah, that's a great question because a lot of people ask it. So I had some friends that were in the entertainment field, and I got with their agent, and there was this audition for a sports show, but I didn't know what kind of sports show it was. And I'm thinking, you know what? I've lettered in softball and in volleyball. There's lots of boys on my street. I played sports with them. I think I got this. But when I got there, Jasmine, they said, this is a show about wrestling. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know anything about wrestling. So the trainings were Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'm thinking, okay, this is after work on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I can sneak out and I'll do this because it's not during work. So Mondo Guerrero was my trainer, and all they said was, hey, we need 12 girls to do a pilot. That's it. We need 12 girls to do this pilot. And there was a lot of girls there. So they started, every time I would go, there would be less and less girls. They were weeding out the 12 that they needed for the pilot. I was one of the girls that they hired for the pilot, and my character became Hollywood, which I was super thrilled with since I was from Southern California. I could relate to that character. And then we did the pilot. And then after the pilot, we had to take it to syndication. And we sold it. So I quit my job in 1986. I never went back to a regular job after that. I've been pretty much staying in the wrestling eye and doing the conventions. I wrestled today. I wrestled yesterday. So that's what I was here for. I was in the ring with three different, Onyx and Jennifer Thomas and Christine Dupree today. So yeah, I kind of beat up today.
You look great for it. I mean, so Mondo Guerrero trained me to wrestle too, but I was always used. Yeah, I was used as a manager because of my size. Like I fluctuate between like 102 to like 108 or 9.
Perfect.
And because of the way wrestling is now, I'm much easier to throw around or push through a table, which is super violent. But I've done mixed tag matches. So who are you wrestling for now? Do you do just independent shows, or what was this all about?
So the stuff that I did today is for my company, and it's called Hollywood Productions, and I've had that company since 1989, maybe 1990. So I just, I get customs for these ladies and myself. Sometimes I play the character Wonder Woman. Sometimes I'm playing Hollywood. Yesterday I played Supergirl and Hollywood, and mind you that these custom videos are rated G, maybe PG. There's nothing, sexual about it, because people will ask me, oh my God, what are you doing? Are you topless? Are you this? Are you that? So they're basically, if mom and dad could watch them, then that's a good thing. So we worked, so everybody worked for my company yesterday and today. And so I'll come into California because there's a lot of talent here. There is a lot of talent on the East Coast as well. So I go back and forth a lot. And so when I am traveling, I'm either wrestling or I'm doing a convention, as you
Did
know.
you work with, oh yeah, of course. So Sue Sexton also trained me. Did
Yes.
you ever,
Yes.
yeah, so she trained me originally. Like she freaked me out. It was like 100 degrees in Calabasas. The ring was outside, okay?
Oh,
I decided to take a diuretic before training in the ring, and we're doing like hair beals. That's how I learned how to flip.
yeah,
Like I could still do all the stuff. I still
right.
work out now and again in a ring, but not just with anyone. Just I just do it for
Yeah,
the sake of it.
good.
Now, you guys had an amazing impact in women's wrestling, I think, and just in entertainment. Did you really expect it to become as big as it did?
So, when we were in it and doing it, it just seemed like not everybody was responding well to it that were in pro wrestling. Now, our fans, we had the fans. And the thing is, and probably as some of the other girls have told you, we just, at least I did not know how popular that we were because we didn't get our fan mail. And one day I went to the office down on Wilshire Boulevard to pick up my check, and I saw all these bags of mail. And I looked at the Jackie, our secretary. I go, Jackie, what are those? She goes, that's your fan mail. I go, what? And so we had bail. I just wanted to throw it over my shoulder and take it back to the girls so bad, just to tell them that, yes, you are popular and yes, people are writing to you. So, I think they did that so that we wouldn't get a big head, get an attitude, ask for this, ask for that. But we were popular. And then obviously when Netflix came around, in the 2000, I don't know, 17. Oh my gosh, that just opened another window for everybody. And then when we're doing conventions, Jasmine, you'll get the WWE guys that were like, Hollywood, we watched you. But they didn't say that they watched us back in the 80s, But later on, they all said, yes, we watched you girls, which was really cool.
Well, of course. I mean, who couldn't? But did you ever have aspirations or did you ever want to be in the WWE or WCW?
When WWF at the time was interviewing in Los Angeles, I was right in the middle of a broken leg. I had broken my leg in 3 places wrestling. And that's a whole another story that's in my autobiography that will be coming out. And I'll tell you, I'll just say that it was broken by another lady who didn't really, she knew MMA, not MMA, but she knew jujitsu and other, you know, we'll say words like that. And she ended up breaking my leg. So WWF comes along. My agent says, you need to go down there. I'm like, oh my God. I said, I'm still limping. He goes, go down anyway. So I put on some sweatpants and I wanted to hide the atrophy that was in the right leg because I didn't want them to like, oh my God, why is she this? Why is she that? So when they started asking me about, my trainer, which was Mondo, they're writing down stuff and go, oh yes, what about this? What about that? And I could tell that they were very interested. And once I told them the truth, because that is what I do, I looked at them, I said, you guys, I'm really sorry. I said, the reason I'm limping is because I broke my leg. I'm right in the middle of it. And they looked at me like, bye. So Jasmine, it's kind of a blessing in disguise because I had already been working for 4 years straight. And you know what? When you're 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, 24, you just want to break for a minute. So those 4 years I was with G.L.O.W, all the seasons and the pilot, I wanted a boyfriend, a steady boyfriend. I wanted to go out and party with my friends, go see my friends' bands, and do the thing that 20-year-olds do. So them not putting me in there was like, oh, good, they don't want me. So and then I just started doing independent wrestling. I think if I really wanted to go that road, I would have. But I just kind of was like, I've done this. I didn't think that I'd still be wrestling at this age right now. So, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but I have no regrets, not at all. But that was my story with them.
Yeah, I think you're better off as well because I've had so many people on the show Plus, I worked for a sister company of theirs. It always seemed like there were struggles
Hmm.
creatively, and someone such as beautiful as yourself and talented, it'd just be such a waste and such a shame to just get mixed up in something and just,
Right,
not able to come back from it. Plus, you own your name, which is important.
right.
Um, what was growing up like for you, and what were you doing in the medical field? Like, what was your job?
Yeah, what was it? So I was a phlebotomist. That's the one that draws blood. And you know what?
Yeah.
I started out right after high school going into a medical office because my best friend in school said, "Hey, we need a receptionist." I'm like, okay. So, you know, I'm a receptionist. And then the bioanalyst at the lab said, "Do you want to learn how to draw blood?" I was like, "Yeah, bring it on. Show me what to do." And so I was a phlebotomist, but, that wasn't my aspiration. My aspiration was like entertainment. Should I model? Can I act? What now? Wrestling wasn't any of those, but that's kind of what wrestling is. It is acting. It is playing the bad guy and the good guy. You know, the heel or the baby face. So those were my aspirations, really, to do some type of entertainment. And then when the wrestling came along, I'm like, oh my God, there's not that many girls in 1986, 87 doing wrestling. I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of girls doing the modeling. A lot of them are going out on the interviews for the acting. I'm like, I'm going to like take the wrestling, and that's going to be my thing. So there was less of me doing that.
Yeah, it's changed a lot now. I work
Oh, I
for
know.
an independent company called XPW Wrestling, but it's a deathmatch wrestling company. Now, here's a bit of unknown Jasmine trivia. I actually went to school for phlebotomy, but I'm squeamish.
Uh,
I just can't deal with blood. My
right.
one of my best friends is a backstage nurse. She does all the like. She could stitch people up. She takes the
Right.
glass out of the guys. Like you see
Oh,
so much crap. I was in Japan wrestling. I mean, getting just some of the stuff they do there. It's just like okay. I just
it's
have to,
hardcore. It's
get consent.
hardcore over there.
Yeah, I mean they're hitting each other with light tubes and shit like that. They are, yeah.
Mm-mm.
I've gotten glass stuck in my hand before, and I
Oh,
wasn't even getting hit with anything. I've had like scrapes up and down my arm from glass, so it's very unsafe now. But there are girls doing this.
I know
Did
that.
you guys actually have cuts back then, or was it stage blood? Just please tell me it was stage blood.
Um, I think it was stage blood if anybody bled at all. We didn't cut our heads and do that weird shit that they did, and we had bottles that were just made out of sugar glass. But a lot of the girls got hurt, Jasmine. When you were
Yeah.
wrestling, you probably saw the same. And lucky, knock on wood, I was very lucky that I might have had a sprained ankle, and it was only because they had redone the mat, and it was really really giving. And like, no, we can't have that. The girls are, you can't have that kind of mat. You just need that mat that's got the plywood where it's giving. Um, yeah. So I was very, like I said, very lucky that I did not get hurt. But I saw lots of girls come and go. If you think, starting in 1985, I probably saw there was 80 girls probably that went through Glow. And you were talking about the girl in the beginning that was training you, not Liz.
Sue Sexton.
Sue. I wrestled
Yeah,
with
Shannon.
Sue. Oh my God, she was amazing. Yes. I used to have a ring in the backyard that I would rent, and we would do the videos in the backyard in the ring. And I hired Sue, and she killed me. She was so good.
Yeah. I mean, she brought up my confidence, and then Mondo brought it up more because he had me
Yeah.
doing moonsaults off the top rope.
Oh my
Considering I
God.
have implants, it was just such a tricky thing because, okay, am I going to smash my implant? But I always landed properly. I
Good.
always like it's just a natural instinct. I ride motorcycles. I had a nasty crash a few years ago, but I
Right.
wasn't the one steering the bike. I was in the back of some guy's bike, and you never
Uh,
get in the back of a guy's bike ever.
ever. I did
And
it, but I
we
was
got
lucky.
you're lucky. No, I fell
Yeah.
forward. I knew how to land. He had two broken wrists. It's
Oh,
an ex of mine, but it was his karma. Um, I know that
yeah.
sounds horrible,
No, it
but
doesn't.
yeah,
I get it. I'm in your same boat. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
it's horrible. But now,
Yeah.
you do stunts as well, right?
Right. So Cheryl Rusa, which was one of the Glow girls that played the character Lightning, started
Yeah.
getting into that, right? And she's like, Jeannie, come down here and check it out. I wish I would have taken her seriously more. I did a few things here and there, but if I would have started way back then doing it all the time, then you get embedded into the family because it really is a family business. And I get that because as a producer in wrestling, I want to hire people that I trust, that I know that can do a good job, that I know will be on time, that are not flakes, you know. So Cheryl got embedded right away into that family immediately. And I wanted to go out and take the easy road. Oh, we're going to do some lingerie shows today? Oh, that's easy. It's only an hour. I'd rather do that and make my $100 back then than, go. But I was stupid because when I started getting into it, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's residuals here. There's bigger money. Oh my gosh, they treat you so well. So the last thing that I did do was this year in Nashville, Tennessee. I was a stunt driver on the Nicole Kidman movie that's coming out, and she was filming downtown. And I'm not a driver per se, precision driver. What I mean by the stunt driver was I was a utility driver, and the utility driver was just me dropping off the kids to school, while Nicole was in her car dropping off her kid to school. So I'm kind of like, that's it, the utility stunt driver. But man, the money that you get from that residuals is, I should have been doing that a long time ago. I should have stayed in that business instead of doing the hard thing, which is wrestling.
I just wanted to plug in a quick word from one of our sponsors, which is one of my personal favorites because I am an avid beef eater. And I decided to start getting my stuff at freedomfirstbeef.com. It's got a shelf storage of 10 to 25 years. It's all freeze-dried. It's a veteran-owned small business. If you pop over to their website, freedomfirstbeef.com, and you use my code, Jasmine, you can get 15% off.
But I love my life, Jasmine. I'm happy. I travel a lot. I have a great boyfriend. I have mom and dad that, are right down the street here when I come to visit. My sisters, my nephews, my friends. I can't complain. I have my health, so important.
That's super important. That kind of helps. So that, I think with the wrestling, it was probably a lot more glamorous. And what were your thoughts on G.L.O.W when it came out? Because I saw it. I really wanted to read for something for any role on that because it was G.L.O.W. But I guess whatever, the opportunity, like the stars weren't aligned, fine. But I watched the show. I thought it was great. But I really missed G.L.O.W, the original G.L.O.W. Like it just felt like it was missing something. What were your thoughts on it originally when it came out?
When we first heard it was coming out, the thoughts for everybody was cool, but are we going to be involved? That was everybody's first thought. Are the G.L.O.W girls going to be involved? And we weren't, but then my second thought was, okay, let's stay positive here. We're not going to be in it, but what they're doing is it's a resurgence of our show. That's going to give us, at least those of us who are that wrestle still and that are still in the public eye or who still do the conventions, that's still going to give us a lot of notoriety and get us more work. So I was stoked with it. I watched the show. You know what? It's Hollywood. It's not it's fiction. And so it's okay to have, for me, it was okay. A lot of girls had a little issues with the girl who owned the trademark, and that was Ursula. But Ursula had to earn that trademark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we won't say how, but you know what? She did. That was her deal, man. That was her deal. And everyone thinks she made a ton of money. And Jasmine, she did not make a ton of money. She licensed it. I have it in the book. She licensed a G.L.O.W, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, to Netflix. When you license something, it's not a shit ton of money. I think that girl made maybe 500 grand. And that's good, but she didn't make millions. There was not millions happening. And you know what? She passed away last year, which is very, very sad. And she has one daughter, Alaska, who I know very well. And I reached out to her right away, and I did a GoFund for this little girl. She's not little, she's 21 now, but still, her mom was her everything. And she wrote a little bit in my autobiography that will come out hopefully, depending. ECW Publishing is reading it now. They said that they loved the pitch, so they wanted to see more. So I'm waiting on them. If they say yes, that's cool. If they say no, that's fine, because I'll go a different route. But it's something that I wanted to tell about how G.L.O.W started, and everything in between. And how I got started and my family upbringing and what we do now. or what I'm doing now, the G.L.O.W cruises that, were happening, which is another one I'm doing. Like, one of the girls did three of the Afterglow cruises. I went on all three of those, which were really cool. They were with all of our fans, and we really had a good time on those. And then I did one before the pandemic in 2019, and I just called it Original G.L.O.W Girl Cruise. And then we're doing another one on March 3rd through the 7th. So, I try to keep G.L.O.W alive. We all do in our own ways, all of the girls, which is great. Not all of them, but there's a lot of girls that want to be involved. And you know what? They try to keep our fans just as involved, regardless if it's Afterglow, Original G.L.O.W, G.L.O.W, we're all the same. It's all one big G.L.O.W. I don't know if I call it a family, but we all work together back in the day. And we had a good time wrestling back in the day. It was fun.
Yeah, it looked like it. I
Yeah.
wish I wish I was old enough then, but I probably was at that point I was living in Europe. So even if I was old enough, I don't think I ever would have
Got there.
been at
Yeah.
one of those auditions, but still, it was just such a beautiful show, and it just was
Yeah.
so perfect in every single way possible when you guys had that. Now, what are on the what could fans expect on the cruises? That's what I want to know.
Oh, yeah. So when we do a cruise, it's funny you said that because everybody's money, supposedly all of the money had to be in a couple of days ago. So we'll do events. So basically, what I try to do on my cruise is before the cruise goes off, we all meet somewhere at a restaurant, introduce everybody to everybody, have a nice dinner. Then in the morning, we head out to the cruise. And then we plan events. Like I always do dirty bingo since I'm a bad girl. So we'll play dirty bingo and they win prizes. I think then we have like something that's outdoors. It's all kinds of competitions that we do, a pie eating contest. Um, I don't, maybe art. I thought that this year, and I'm not sure if I'll do it, but I may give out a G.L.O.W belt because I was able to get 4 G.L.O.W championship belts that are the real deal. I mean, they're super heavy and they're really cool. I had a promoter make one for me, and I'm like, okay, can I get some more of these? And so I went to the promoter who sent me to the maker, and then I talked to him about making belts. So maybe we can auction off a belt. I don't know. But that's March. So me and Cheryl have to get together and get that going. But we always have a good time. And then what we do is we have excursions. So what I try to do is everybody goes out. Obviously, you don't want to stay on the boat. So we're going to go to the Eastern Caribbean. So, if somebody wants to, I don't know, do the beach day or a bar day or a zip line day, we'll do that. And then what I try not to do is I don't want to schedule an event on that day so that we have to hustle back, hurry up, get ready for, whatever, for an event. So I'll do all the events at sea. And then at nighttime, we all can eat together. We're always at the same table. And it's just good fun for our fans. They get to, check out the merch that we'll bring. Hopefully my book will be done by then, which will be
Yeah.
really, really cool. I would like that. I have a working title. It's Inside G.L.O.W, a true Hollywood story. See, Hollywood, me,
Oh,
Hollywood. Yeah.
I
And you know
like
what?
that.
Do you like it? I go, Inside G.L.O.W, a
Yeah.
true Hollywood story. Yeah. And who knows? If somebody else picks it up, they might go, we don't like that. You know what I mean? They'll have more control. If I do it myself and publish through Amazon, then I'll have all the control I want, but I'll have to figure it out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's like to go through Amazon to publish things. I just think your story is much bigger than that. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
at the same time, you've got to do what's right financially. I do have some
Right.
friends that have published through Amazon that do extremely well
Yeah,
with
me
it because
too.
they have a publicist. And that's what the
Yes.
whole thing is, the publicist and all that. And I think regardless of what you decide to do, it's going to sell because it's you and it's a piece of pop culture. Anyone who says glow
Absolutely.
is not pop culture is
Oh, it
completely
is. Yeah.
wrong.
It's
Yeah.
definitely pop culture for sure.
It's a
Yeah.
big deal
You
with
nailed
that.
that. Yeah, you
Yes.
nailed it.
Now, I want to ask you about your soap company because I love soaps. Everyone listening, this is the time of year when you want to start buying gifts for yourself or for others. And of course, we love supporting small businesses. So, Nashville Botanica, and I'll pop up the Instagram handle, has these really nice soaps. You could smell good, you could be clean. Tell me about your company.
You're sweet. I'm going to send you some just for that. You're so
Oh,
sweet. Years ago, I was always curious about homemade soap. So every time I went to like a certain like natural store. I'd be smelling them, looking up the ingredients. And then in 2018 here at the mall, I think I was in Burbank, and I saw these beautiful soap and I'm like, wow, these are really cool. I looked at the ingredients. I'm like, I could do that. How hard could it be to make soap? Well, it wasn't really simple in the beginning. It was not. So because everything has to be a certain temperature. I mean, the temperatures have to be 10 degrees of each other, and there's no preservatives in it. And that's the cool thing that I love about these soap that I make. So I have 4 ingredients. I use organic coconut oil, olive oil, distilled water. Sometimes I do goat's milk. It just depends. And then you have to have sodium hydroxide. That's lye, and that's what makes soap. And then I use like a fragrance oil or an essential oil. So basically, like I said, you got to put those 2 together, and it's almost like cake batter. Once it goes into a mold, then you have to let it sit for 24 hours, cut it up, and then it also has to sit another 3 weeks to cure. And what I mean by curing, I mean, there's this whole thing about it. You want your bar soap to be harder, so the water is evaporating out of the soap. The holidays are super, super busy, Jasmine. I sold almost $1,000 just worth of my Halloween. There's not really a lot of advertising. And for me, it's a small business. I'm making small batches, and it's just me doing it. So it's not this super big giant company. So I sold all these Halloween soap that just were very, very cool. And I promise if you send me your shipping address, I'm going to send you some to try and see if you like it. Because it's cool. And my thing is just, this is all before the pandemic. And then when the pandemic hit, what did we have to do, everybody? Wash our hands more and more. Oh, yeah. So I think it came out at the perfect time. 2018, they say that you are not a pro, okay? They say you are not a pro until you've been doing it for 2 years. And you know what? They're absolutely right. Even though I knew what I was doing, there's just certain things that you question. And really, after 2 years, if you've been doing it every day or every other day, or when you get off the road and make it, you get over all. You already definitely know what's like. I won't do or create a soap if I'm tired. If I went to a concert the night before, if I went out and drank the night before, I will not make soap the next day. I just need my head in it, and I want everything. I'm a perfectionist. I can't help it. I want everything to be perfect because we're talking about soap here. People are bathing with this, and everything has to be good. Then the really cool thing that happened this year earlier is my soap are in the Nashville International Airport.
Oh,
and yes. So there's a company called Nashville Jam Session. They are a store. They have a lot of musical instruments in it, but then they also have. So my soap though say Nashville on them. And so basically, you know how people forget stuff, they forget to buy their friends gifts? Mm-hmm. Well, as long as there's something that says Nashville on it, it's going to get bought no matter what it is. So there is that. And I just got another order actually before I came out here to LA. And she's like, can you bring them? There were 60 of them. Jasmine, the soap were so heavy. I'm like, I am not humping the 60 soap that felt like 30 pounds into the airport. So when I get back, I'll send it back to them. And but I'm super excited. Billy Corgan had my soap in his store in Chicago. Mm-hmm. He has a tea shop called Madame Zuzu's. Do you remember Rhonda Shear, the Up All Night girl?
I do. I love Rhonda.
Remember Rhonda? Yeah, she's in Florida. She had bought some for her little boutique there. And then I did some mermaid soap for a company up here in Oxnard, California. So okay. Let me tell you, to do the stuff that I do, I need like 6 genies. I need 6 of me to like do the stuff. It's just hard to concentrate on one thing because my mind is going, I got to do this and I have to do that and I've got to do that. So it's tough at times. You sound a little bit
like me with this. Like I do that sometimes. I get into those modes. What's your sign?
I'm Taurus. I'm May 19th. When's yours?
October 23rd. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, you just had. Oh, you know what's so cool about us? We are totally opposites on the what do you call it?
The astrological chart.
Yeah, the wheel, whatever that thing is. We are totally. You look at it. Taurus is right here, and right across is Scorpio. We're opposites, but yet I know Scorpios, and I've been good friends with all Scorpios. So there you have it. Yeah.
Yep. I get it.
We're strong. we're strong people, we're independent, business people. We can take care of ourselves. I know you can. I can. Yeah. And you have this
Yes.
awesome podcast.
Yes, it's been a lot of fun so far doing this. It was really sketchy at first. I wasn't sure where it was going, what's going on, and then
Right.
thank God the producer jumped on. Like I had to find the perfect person. And by the way, the guy that introduced me to Andrew, oh my God, whew! Like if there's next level hot in this world,
Oh,
like
nice.
that is where he
Wow.
is. Seriously, it's so disgustingly horrible. It's like a
Ah,
sin. Should be a
that's
sin,
gr-
but
that's
it's
great.
not.
I love stories like that. Good for you. Hot, hot, hot. Woo!
Now, I love Nashville. I know when I was there, like I was wrestling there for TNA when they first started Impact
Right.
Wrestling.
Right.
Then, what did we get? We had, no, that was in Knoxville, but I went to Nashville. Someone in music was involved that I knew. Oh, we had bourbon infused whiskey. Do they still have that, or is that like one bar that made it?
I don't know. You know what? I got to go seek that out now. And I'm
It
in a
could be
lot of those
so.
bars, so I'm going to check it out. Do you know who made it at all?
It was just in one of those soda dispensers at the bar.
Huh. Have you ever
Yeah.
had what's those oh, I can't think. They're like milkshakes. I forget. Oh my God. Those are good. They're alcohol that they're called I can't believe I can't remember them. Not hurricanes. It's something like that, but it's so good. It's like a milkshake with
Pina
booze in
colada?
it. No, 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 no. It's a Nashville thing. I'm gonna have to look it
See,
up
I
while
gotta
we're
try
talking.
it. I'm on this whole like this whole joke about milkshakes because no. I was speaking at a city council meeting earlier this week. When was it? On Tuesday,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And then someone put their, because you have to put your name in to speak. Someone put in the name milkshakes. So you have
Okay.
the mayor of Santa Monica calling someone up named milkshakes. Nobody showed up, by the way. I just thought it was funny. I couldn't
Ah,
stop laughing.
that is
It's like
funny.
I could, yeah, like who calls himself milkshakes? You can identify as a milkshake, though. I guess nowadays, maybe that's what I'll start doing is calling myself milkshakes. While you look for that, so yeah, everyone check out the different soaps because soaps are like a very important part of our process of being, and especially like if you're an XPW wrestling fan, some of you are lower than freaking white trash. I'm sorry, but then you want us to stand, you want to take photos with some of us, and you don't bathe. So make sure you check out Nashville Botanica, and it's on Instagram. And do me a favor, just buy some soap, or else I will not take a photo with you. Some of you, that is, dude.
Oh,
Some of the
bless
rest,
her heart.
it's no. Bless my heart, not theirs, please. Some of them, they come up to you. They've not bathed in like God knows how many freaking
Uh,
days.
I know. I know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you're talking about. You're just like,
dude.
really? What? Yeah. Get rid of
Yeah.
this person, please.
No, I still take the photos because I feel bad for some of them, but I hope you bring these soaps to like conventions. You bring them to
Yes,
conventions, right?
I
Yeah,
do.
thank
I
God.
try. Yeah, yeah, I do. They do really well. I did one in Knoxville, and they're like, "Please bring the soap." I'm like, "Okay, I'll bring the soap." They're just heavy, Jasmine. And the problem is, it's like, oh my God, I'm taking my shirts, my T-shirts, I'm taking pictures. I mean, it depends too on the promoter. If I work for a promoter that has invited me, then he'll provide, my photos. I don't have to bring that. But
Thank
LA
God.
Comic Con is coming up, and at LA Comic Con, we have to bring our own stuff, which is fine because I have all my stuff at mom and dad's here. But I'm just saying, after a while, they don't have your soap, so I either have to mail it or I'm going to have to hump it there.
Yeah.
But
Well, hopefully
yeah.
we'll be able to get
Yeah,
some
so
there.
Comic Con is coming up. So the next thing is December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, LA Comic Con. I'm super excited because I think we've been doing that for 10 years now. So that'll be really fun. So I hope
That's gonna
everybody
be
comes out. Yep,
yeah.
yep.
I'll come out.
If you're
I'll come
there,
out
let
to
me
the
know.
meeting.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you
No,
were
I
there,
have to.
please come on over. Say hello.
What
Andrew, if
else
you're
do you
there
have
too.
show wise? No, what else do you have show wise coming up
That's
as far
for
as live
right.
events?
So for right now, it's LA Comic Con because we're the end of October now. I don't have anything in November because I'll be getting ready for LA Comic Con, and I don't. And then I have the cruise coming up. I don't. And if that book comes out, then there's going to be some book stuff and signing. So we'll get together maybe after the book comes out, and I can, we can promote maybe that or whatnot if you want. And
No,
you
I
can tell
want
me
to
about
read
my
it.
yeah, oh, I want you to read it. It's very cool. It's you know what? It's so funny. It's something that I've been wanting to do since I got out of G.L.O.W. and I started writing things down then. And thank goodness I wrote those things down, because as we get older, you guys all know what happens up here. Everyone thinks it was this. I'm like, no, 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 it was this. I wrote it down. I even have notebooks where we wrote down all of our matches. I have notebooks where I wrote my itinerary. I have notebooks that have the G.L.O.W. rap, all the different raps that we did. So those don't lie, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
going to put
that's
those,
good.
and because I'll put those in there. I'm going to put like the books, like I'll take photos, lots of different photos that people haven't seen. Some of the G.L.O.W. photos of some of the girls they hadn't, you know, that haven't been posted on the internet. And then I'll take pictures of that notebook with all of that stuff on it as well. And that'll go inside the book. So that'll be fun. Hey, did you ever, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Did you ever shoot with Jeanne Basone ever out here?
Oh my God. Jeanne Beta had this really cool apartment near the Rainbow Bar and
Yes,
Grill
yes,
that overlooked
exactly.
Ohini. So he
Yes.
shot me once. Yeah, I love
Okay.
Jeanne Beta's photos. He gave me this really cool big hair because I love big hair.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and he did this really awesome makeup. Then we took
Yes.
photos. He did my first black and white headshot.
I love it. Yep. I shot with him, honey, over 20 times. I just, it was funny because I'd have people go, well, Hollywood, did you have some plastic surgery? And I'm like, no, I didn't. But he would give me the slender nose, right? And big eyes. I'm like, it's all makeup, you guys. It's makeup. Because John would just be so glamorous with the makeup. Then finally, I'm like, okay, John, can you tone it down just a little bit? I need to look like myself. But
No, you gotta leave it. Like it's more. This is
the
what. See,
glamour
here's the
part is
thing.
so cool. When you
Yes,
just
everyone's
he made you.
lacking glamour these days. I
I
look at
love it.
Playboy, I look at
Right.
all these magazines. What are you girls doing? Like, there's no glamour. They're making it way too simple and easy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know that sounds
Yeah.
insensitive, but it's way too simple.
Yeah.
My freaking cat could be in Playboy. It's like they're letting anyone into Playboy and Penthouse. Like my neighbor could be in Playboy. I really
Yeah.
don't think that anyone wants to see any of that, by the way. But I could say that 'cause she's a grade A bitch. So yes, about the book, we're gonna look forward to that. But
Great.
what's the name of your production company? People want to order customs, and
Yep.
no, it is not
Sure.
naked. There's nothing crazy like that. It's
Yes, there's
G-rated.
no, I have, thank you. Yes, I look over every single damn script before. If I see some, most people already know and they don't even send it. But if it starts saying, I want this and that, I'm like, sorry, not for me. The company is Hollywood Productions. My soap is, it's either Hollywood Botanica or Nashville Botanica. But I go with Nashville Botanica. And by the way, everybody, Botanica is spelled with a K, not a C. So Nashville Botanica. And I have that on Instagram. My Instagram is official G.L.O.W. Hollywood. And if you're a Twitter person, it's G.L.O.W. Hollywood.
Here's your soap from Nashville. This is so cool,
Oh,
everyone. It says Nashville on it. It's
yeah,
so
see?
awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you got to stay clean out there, everyone. And will you eventually be making face soaps at all?
You can use this on your face because I do. I
Okay.
use it. It's not drying, I promise you. As we get older, you still want moisturizer, but you can definitely wash your face with it. It's
Good
not
to
that
know.
drying shit. It's not that drying stuff because it does not have any preservatives in it at all.
I'll try one on my face then, because
I
I
want you
was
to.
I'm going to, because I was like all shiny for the past few weeks on the podcast, right? And I realized I didn't do a clay mask on my face for a few weeks, so I was shiny. I'm like, oh duh, I've got to do this like twice a week. I forget. Then I did like the whole Morpheus 8. I was doing the stem cells. Like I do all kinds of stuff.
That's
Every
good.
few weeks I have to rip my skin apart, or I don't feel as though I'm doing myself a justice.
Yeah. And as we get older, we really have to pay really close attention to all of this and this. It's called maintenance. Just do some maintenance and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Maintenance is
and the
good.
dry.
Watch what you eat. Watch exercise. Drink way more water. That's what I have to do with myself. Drink more water. That's important. So that's my tips for today. Drink more water, everybody, and be kind. Be nice to one another. That's so important.
As a
We don't have that sometimes.
It's Diet Coke, so I'm cheating. Big deal.
I like that. I did a Diet Coke at the In-N-Out today.
Did you have protein style?
Yes, I did animal protein style light. This is it. This is it. You're so cute. Number 2, animal protein style light spread. Do my fries a little well and a Diet Coke for here. And I ate it out on the outside. It was beautiful in the sun today. Gorgeous.
So everyone listening, make sure you check out Hollywood's Instagram. So give us that plug again for your Instagram and your Twitter again, please.
Official G.L.O.W Hollywood is the Instagram. G.L.O.W Hollywood for Twitter. And if you're interested in any of the soap, it's Nashville Botanica with a K.
Yep. And they could see all of your appearances coming up and wherever you're wrestling and so forth, correct?
That's right. Yep. And then I have HollywoodProductions.com. I got so much. I got JeanneBasone.com. There's a lot of stuff going on, but you'll find me. Just Google me if you can't remember.
We'll find you, I'm sure. Thank you so much, and I will see you in December.
I can't wait, and I'm going to send you some soap, so don't forget to give me your address. Bye, Andrew. Bye, Jasmine.